some will have a memory of actually being inside Westminster Abbey for the actual service, and one of them is joining us right now. Nigel Evans, he has just left the ceremony there at Westminster, and I can only imagine, we can only imagine, sir, what it must have been like there to witness this historic ceremony. What are you going to take away most, sir?
Well, it's going to be a memory that will be with me for the rest of my life. That is for absolutely certain. I never thought in a million years I would never attend a state funeral of my monarch. I was privileged to have been sworn into the Privy Council, which is one of the Queen's advisors, well, several months ago. Sadly, because of COVID, Her Majesty the Queen performed the ceremony, but it was over Zoom. You can't even begin to say how disappointed I was with that, but being a member of the Privy Council and then honoured and privileged to be part of the Accession Council, which was a few days ago, when I witnessed the new King Charles being proclaimed King Charles III. And then to come to this funeral, it really does bring the full circle of the events of the past 11 days since Her Majesty sadly passed away. And being at this service means so much to me. I just can't even put it into words. I'm incredibly moved to have been witnessing this really incredibly historic event. If you think about it, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth is the only monarch I've ever known, and I'm 64. She had been on the throne 7 decades, so really you'd have to be well into your 80s to have remembered anything to do with any other monarch. And so this is the passing of an era for me. And yes, it gave me an opportunity to say thank you to somebody who served her country with such commitment and dedication for that 7 decades. It was once said by a lady in waiting and I represent a part of the country in Lancashire, which the Queen knows really well. It's Ribble Valley. And the lady in waiting once said that if Her Majesty ever wanted to retire, she'd want to retire to the Ribble Valley. And when I was told this, I laughed, because I knew that there wasn't a chance that Her Majesty would ever retire. And indeed, she was true to her promise when she was 21, that she would give a lifetime of service. And up until 2 days before she passed, she was swearing in the 15th Prime Minister that she had seen in her lifetime as a monarch. I mean, it is just quite incredible.
It was incredible to see her welcoming Liz Truss, the newest Prime Minister, and as you mentioned, the 15th Prime Minister to have an audience, the Queen to have an audience with, and to welcome her. And it was just a day and a half later that we learned we had lost the Queen. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask you, because you're no stranger to politics and deep division, what was it about the Queen, and she's not just an example here in the Commonwealth, but an example around the world of a leader, of a head of state who somehow is able to connect with people. She's above the fray. She didn't allow herself to be pulled in, and if she had a set of political beliefs, you didn't see them. And I think that that's what people had such deep respect for 70 years.
I think that's what the Archbishop of Canterbury was intimating in the sermon that he gave, which was like she was a queen like no other. I think President Macron said that when you talked about the Queen, I know there are other queens and kings, and some of them were in Westminster Abbey today, but when you talked about the Queen, you knew who you were talking about. It was Elizabeth II. And yeah, we talk about her being the glue that binds the United Kingdom together and peoples together, and she certainly did that. And if you think of what's gone on in the last 10 days, people have poured out in their hundreds of thousands in Scotland, England, Northern Ireland and Wales to show their respect and to say thank you, Mum, for your lifetime of service. But also, it's not just the United Kingdom, it's then the Commonwealth, which is 50 plus countries, and you've seen them well represented here at Westminster Abbey as well. And then the role model that she's been throughout the world for lots of people who have nothing to do with the Commonwealth, have nothing to do with the United Kingdom. And we won't see anything like this again in the way that she was able to do that. And basically, living 96 years of age, if you think what she has seen during that period of time and the change that she's seen, 15 prime ministers, 14 US presidents, but she has been the one constant in a lot of people's lives. And of course, we now have that continuity represented by King Charles III as well. So she was special, absolutely, very special, and certainly got a place in my heart.
Oh, well, we thank you for sharing that place with us in such detail. Deputy Speaker Nigel Evans, Member of Parliament there, and I loved how he said there are many kings and queens in this town right now, but everyone knows when you're talking about the Queen. Who you're talking about.
Because you say something like it was fit for a queen. This is the Queen.
The Queen.
Not a queen, the Queen.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.